For almost 4 years, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. Maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. There was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. As part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. Set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack.
Yeah. And see, that's what these young people don't understand. These young people don't understand that journalists, Rolling Stones, anonymous sources, anytime, and this is advice to anyone out there, anytime you see in the headline or in the body of text in an article and it says anonymous source, red fucking fire alarm should be going off in your fucking head, because if they really would do it, and I get it, some people need to say anonymous if it's like military secrets or whatever, whistleblowers for the government, but if it has something to do like this, Twitch and, you know, content creators, and they're not willing to stand on fucking business and put their fucking name on the fucking, yeah, I did say this, I will be a fucking actual source. Never, don't just outright believe them. This is the problem. People see text written in fucking articles and will be bent over hands and knees to suck that person off and just believe the shit they're spewing. Hey, what's going on, everybody? If you made it through the intro, congratulations. You're the 1% of the 1%. Your IQ is over 140. You absolutely wait till all the facts are out before making decisions, and you do not cast judgment until the majority of the facts are out. The doc has returned back to YouTube after his vacation with the fam, I'm guessing, was away for some time, and is absolutely dropping heat. I said this in my previous video, in the video that not my previous video, but the video where I covered this whole, you know, Dr. Disrespect situation, where I said in my, you know, breakdown of the video, in my breakdown of the video, I absolutely called it, said that he's being very specific with the words he's choosing. I don't think he's an idiot. He's obviously been able to be on the top of the grind for creating content for very long, so I do not think he is some dummy that would just fuck up. It was imperative when he said, I knew something was up when he had said inappropriate conversations only happen. That could have been banter. It could have been, you know, conversations. It's about how you view it. An inappropriate conversation to you might be jokeful banter with someone that is 17, but there's no rules about being able to joke around with a 17-year-old. There is, we don't know, you know, and I thought it was very deliberate. Another thing, if this was a child, you know, hypothetically under the age of 16, 17, the authorities would be involved. There would have been a case against the doc, but we never saw any, you know, police investigation, any allegations from police departments, not even arrests. We never saw anything like that. So that was a clear indicator to me that these allegations back in 2020, you know, or in 2017 had to have been either minute enough to where the police did not feel like there was either a strong enough case, or they felt like it was open enough into interpretation that they would not build a case. Trust me, the police does not usually do frivolous cases against people. They want to know that they are going to win the majority of the time when they do go after somebody. So that was a clear indicator. Another clear indicator was the fact that he won his lawsuit against, essentially must have not won, but Twitch had to settle with the doctor. So that was a clear indicator to me. A lot of these content creators on YouTube are so young and so inept and know so little about the world and don't understand, don't grasp it, because they're, let's be honest, under 25 years old and don't have life experience, but yet they will spew these ideas of absolutely insanity and, you know, speculate. And I have to give it to the doc. He let people say the most outlandish ideas, and I think it was done as a ploy. This was 4D chess. I'm not, you know, glazing the doc, but it's setting up a pretty interesting, maybe possible defamation lawsuit against, possibly other content creators and, Twitch, possibly. That's the way I see it. I mean, there could be a lawsuit against, because some people were speculating, and I guess it's speculation and it's not defamation, possibly because he is a public figure. But the speculation that I was seeing from other content creators were fucking wild. It seems like they didn't even look at any of the facts of the information we had and then just made up their mind that he was a PDF file, when if you would have just taken a cursory look at what we actually knew, that he had never been, found criminally liable for anything. The Twitch had to settle with him. All these little indicators, and the fact that he didn't care enough to where people were like, well, he hasn't made a statement, he hasn't said anything. He was letting it simmer, he was letting it cook. All these things, to me, I'm not some genius, I'm just a fucking Mexican dude, some illegal immigrant. I'm just kidding, I'm not illegal. Just some guy, but I am older. I am, 35 almost, so I was able to perceive this and be like, you know what, there has to be more here. I don't think he's just a complete dummy. But let's get into what he has recently said. This has only been 2 days. It's almost got 3 million views. If anyone doubted that Dr. Disrespect still had the sauce, my boy still's got the juice. He's definitely pulling. I believe he had 233,000 concurrent viewers when this was live. So anyone that was said the doc is done, he's cooked, he's lost his audience, this seems like a resounding no. I mean, people were waiting for him to, pull up. So, and it looks like he pulled up with the receipts. Let's check him out.
For almost 4 years, champs, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs? You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And as someone that, has been admin for a corporation, an LLC, and has been in arbitration with, lawsuits, workers' comp and other things, that there is certain rules, things you can and can't do. And all of these content creators, YouTube creators, have no fucking concept, have never actually done anything in their life besides create content because they're 20 years old. They've never started a business. Their business is creating content. That's fine. But if you've lived in the real world for quite some time, where your job isn't just talking in front of a camera, you have employees, I create YouTube video content now because I'm more semi-retired in my, I have a lot more leisure time, thank God, for whatever reasons I don't want to get into. I will some point, talk about my past or what I've done or what my life is like. But for whatever reason, I have the ability to take a lot more leisure time. But if you're running administration for a corporation, an LLC, and you do get into lawsuits and arbitrage, until you've been in that atmosphere, until you've, dealt with lawyers and lawsuits, you don't really grasp how confusing it can be.
But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point?
Haters.
This was settled
Fucking
professionally. And knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason.
Fuck that bitch.
Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors?
This is also what happened with CNN when they called the Covington kids. You know, they slandered those kids' names, or one specific kid. They called them alt-right white supremacists without actually having any of the facts. They just saw the video of a Native American hitting a drum, and they called him the victim and the white boy the victimizer, and they had to settle a lawsuit. And part of that lawsuit is that you cannot talk about what they got, what they have, or what they won, what the settlement was. And then one of their anchors decides to go and talk about it and then get slapped with the lawsuit all over again. It's just the majority of people are fucking idiots. But if you're watching this channel, you're smart, handsome, intelligent, and you got a big cock.
You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch as Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it.
And see, this is the thing. People were trolling him for doing that, editing and stopping, but people don't realize that this guy, he's not a dummy. There's no way. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up most likely suing the, gaming company he had, for wrongful termination without evidence. I think he's going to have a couple defamation lawsuits, readied up because he let them kind of just, say the most wild. And there's people, they're going to try to deny it now. But a lot of these content creators were saying some of the most stupid, outlandish, idiotic things. But I don't get mad at them. I don't hate them, but I pity them because I'm like, you're so young. You don't realize what the world is. A lot of these guys are 22, 21, 20-year-olds. You know who they are, that are creating content. They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers of children that also don't know anything. I would hope that my audience, the small audience, very, very small audience that I have, realize that hopefully this is a more nuanced conversation. He's very selective. He knows what he's saying. He knows the definition of words. He knows, what's legal, what's not. Maybe for the wrong reasons or for the right reasons, I don't know. But he is smart enough to know what is in the gray area, And I'm not defending anything. I don't care. When I saw a lot of content creators now saying, well, he had a wife, he had a kid. I mean, who are you to play moral police? I mean, what he does in his personal life has nothing to do with the content he creates. People need to learn how to separate the, character, the artist from the art from his personal life. Separate the artist from the art. And everyone wants to play moral police, but yet most of these people talking about morality are children that haven't even experienced life. They're like 21, 22, probably had one girlfriend, don't even know that life isn't as easy and as simple as they would like to think. The majority of the world lives in the gray. It's not black and white. We live our lives in the gray. So he's a lot smarter than I think people gave him credit. He knew what he was doing. And it's possibly also, he wanted to see these people come to light, who was really going to be there for him, who was really going to cut him off, these streamers. A lot of people got exposed for jumping on the bandwagon without actually having any facts or knowing anything or even asking him.
And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set
Another thing I do want to mention, a lot of content creators I saw that have so far covered it are saying, well, just release the whispers, release them, release them. Who the fuck are you? Who are you to demand that he release, private conversations? Also, even if the majority of 80% of them saw them and they were like, that's above board, I don't care, it's not a big deal, there will still be that vocal, annoying 20% that will still demand for his head. You can't please everybody, so why even bother? I don't agree with this whole show the evidence. It's not guilty and then prove innocent. It's prove me guilty. And he is yet to be proven guilty by law enforcement, by Twitch themselves, since they did have to settle the lawsuit, since they did have to settle and get into non-disclosures. As how I see it, if those are the cases, then you content creators that are demanding to see the contents of the conversations, who the fuck are you? Why the fuck do you deserve to be? What? You're God now? You're here to pass judgment on this guy? You fucking 21, 22-year-old fucks that don't know anything about fucking dick because you haven't lived life. You've just been out of high school for the last fucking 3 years. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack.
Yeah, and see, that's what these young people don't understand. These young people don't understand that journalists, Rolling Stones, anonymous sources, anytime, and this is advice to anyone out there, anytime you see in the headline or in the body of text in an article and it says anonymous source, red fucking fire alarm should be going off in your fucking head, because if they really would do it, and I get it, some people need to say anonymous if it's like military secrets or whatever, whistleblowers for the government. But if it has something to do like this, Twitch and, content creators, and they're not willing to stand on fucking business and put their fucking name on the fucking, yeah, I did say this, I will be a fucking actual source. Don't just outright believe them. This is the problem. People see text written in fucking articles and will be bent over hands and knees to suck that person off and just believe the shit they're spewing. Disgusting. Journalists are the most fucking propagandized fucking group of people ever.
These big time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now. Don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening. They report on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened.
Another point. If it was so bad, if it was so fucking terrible, why did no victim ever fucking come forward? It would have been a slam dunk. A rich content creator, I'm assuming very wealthy at this point, it would have been a slam dunk if they would have played victim. If said, hey, yeah, I was, sexting the doc, and I was scared and I was intimidated, and he was being forward. Why did they never come forward? All these things. The victim never, the supposed, I'm not even gonna, I don't even want to say the word victim. The person that he was exchanging conversations with never came forward. The police never investigated. Twitch lost the lawsuit and had to settle. A human adult over the age of fucking 21 should have been able to see all these things and be like, oh, okay, it's just some fucking cocksucker that wants, just some journalist that wants a scoop on a fucking guy. It's just a hit job, a coordinated hit job nonetheless against the doc. And I'm not a fucking dog fanboy, but I can see when someone's being attacked. I can tell when you can discern. You should have the ability to discern when someone is an actual monster and when there is a hit job being played on us by journalists that have a agenda. That's the thing. And all these fucking stupid fucks that were quick to fucking call this guy a PDF file, you're fucking a disgusting fuck, all of you.
I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those?
Anyone that is looking for something against you, looks hard and long enough and will eventually find something wrong you did. And they will use that and bend it and regurgitate it and speculate and say, no, it was possibly worse. They will always lead to the worst thing. Nobody is perfect in this world. Everyone, once you start turning over rocks, you're going to find shit. I mean, it's insane. But a lot of people were quick to just let this guy burn.
Those words.
Bitches, pussies.
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here.
I mean, he has all the fucking facts. He knows Twitch was fucked because they settled. That should be like, people realize that corporations don't want to settle. But when they know they're fucking cooked, they will. A corporation doesn't settle to a single person. It happens rare, but if you know that the evidence isn't on your side, you're gonna have to. And that was one of the biggest indicators to me. I was like, well, if the corporation settled, made a settlement and decided to sign non-disclosure agreements, then they must feel they're somewhat in the wrong.
We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch whispers,
all right, that's pretty much the bulk of it. There's more, maybe another, 10 minutes or so, but that's pretty much the main part that I wanted to talk about. He goes on to say that, it was a hit job by his, person at Twitch, the person, his, manager, whatever, the person that's supposed to assist him with all the Twitch stuff. And it's a person with a vendetta. But I think the overarching point has been, given I've showed enough and I've given my points, I think he has a actual, possible case of defamation, against Twitch, or at least breach of contract, when they decided to, leak this information. He's most likely going to go after these people, and he might even go, it's going to be hard against some publications, but I would say sue the publications as well. I mean, you might not win, but you might win the moral stance, the moral victory. It's not always about money, but sometimes it's to show that, these journalists, these fucking news websites, these articles, and a lot of these content creators should be held accountable for the wild speculation that they were doing without any evidence. It is insane how people will spew bullshit and give their expert analysis when they're 20-year-old kids that have never done anything in life, have never ran a company, has never employed any single person outside of their, editors or, whatever, like people that make their thumbnails, but have never sat in an office with 10 plus employees or had a, team or managed or had an LLC that involved a service industry, not like YouTube, where you have direct clients that you have to service. Whether that's, whatever field, restaurant, service industry, construction, plumbing, the blue collar. Myself come from a blue collar background of a corporation in the blue collar trades. So yes, direct clients, and then running administration, dealing with arbitrage when, lawsuits come up with disgruntled employees, handling workers' comp situations. These people can't even fathom how complex it is because their lack of knowledge, because they're children giving their opinion on the internet. And I get that. That's what I'm currently doing right now. But I want to give a different insight, a not so quick to jump to conclusions insight. Another person, Trevor Bauer, I've harped on this all the time. He lost his, contract with Major League Baseball over allegations that were found to be false. The two women that accused him, one is now being possibly going to go to court for, falling false police reports. And the other one, they didn't settle, but they found that, Trevor Bauer did nothing wrong and she was actually a fucking lying cunt. But that's all we have for today. Hopefully you stay till the end. If you did, I appreciate it 1,000%. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? If you disagree, tell me why. Give me a interesting take, and I'll respond maybe, or I'll call you a fucking idiot and tell you to shut the fuck up. Who knows?